We then proceeded at that point into our simulated countdown.
Lunchtime, kids!
All right!
Yum, 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 yum.
Hello, friends. It's lunchtime.
There we go. Hello there, folks. Monday morning is upon us. I want to say welcome back to the show. We are in studio with Zach, Matt, and Anna, and myself. And before we really get kicked off here, I want to say a very hearty welcome back to our YouTube audience. We've been gone for a while.
Yes, it's true.
We've left you alone, and I'm sorry. We have resolved our differences, and we're ready to kiss and make up. YouTube, this one's for you. Here we go, ready?
Tube. YouTube. Tube. Tube.
There we go. YouTube, we're sorry. We've apologized. We've fixed our ways. We are able to stream live again on YouTube. We are back. Okay, one more time, because that was just beautiful.
It was a lovely
Tube.
YouTube. Tube.
That is the first class production you get here on the Lunch Break Studios.
Yep.
Things that are methodical.
The passion.
The passion.
You can hear it in the voice.
We
really care about what we do.
We found out a little information finally. We heard back from YouTube on Friday, and it was after the show, and we thought, okay, how can we dress this up and make this as spectacular as this news warrants? And that's when I was really the only one, I think, that started brainstorming music. You guys didn't care at all.
Wow.
Scoreboard
Oh, I'm
here.
sorry. What was your
Good
recommendation? Like nobody. I was like,
didn't know
oh
we were
man,
keeping
let's
score.
let's get some production. Let's get some music.
All
and
right,
you guys
I'll
were
start-
like, well,
I'll
we
start keeping a
You
tally.
had real work
Okay.
to do. I'll
All
be
right.
fair. All right, you had things
No, it's-
actually going on.
fair.
You had due dates, and I was sitting back there, rocking back and forth in my clown shoes, and thought to myself, I know, music. Boys to Men, it'll be perfect. And then Josh had the brilliant idea of adding production this morning. That is how we arrived where we're at today. It's great. I'm excited we're back on.
So did YouTube, did we like kiss and make up? What did they actually say happened?
Anna found it, right? You were the one who kind of cracked the YouTube code.
Yeah, no, I just read the email. That's what I did.
Right. Basically,
Something that none of us did, apparently.
right.
No, I think I was the one logging on the email when we received it, and I just happened to read it, and we just read it as a team, and we kind of like bonded. We crossed hands as we were like resubmitting it, figuring out what was going on.
It's
and
true. A rigorous review process from the
Right.
Real News team. While Josh was. You were running errands or some meetings or
Yes, I was running
The point
errands.
is, like, we sat down and said, I want everybody to look at this. I want to make sure everybody's
Gosh, this bus is big enough for all of us.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
everybody knows what's going on.
Josh was at Kroger getting some odds and ends.
I didn't.
And, you know,
I would presume I said you were doing something important. You know what? Can you play the music again a little bit? Yeah. Can you
here
give
we
me a little
go.
bit more?
Ease into
I'm
it.
excited we're back. I am. I love YouTube. We said some hurtful things, all right, but we're together again. Tube, and it's okay.
there we go. So,
Yes.
We are welcome back on the Lunch Break Show. Again, not only to our YouTube followers, our Facebook Live followers, our Twitter followers, and our one Twitch follower. We love you very much. Thank you for being an avid follower on Twitch. We are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 12 until 1, giving you kind of the water cooler talk of what's going on around the day. Every Monday and Friday, we actually have serious news with Sarah Strackhouse. That's coming up at 12:20. But first, things that rattle our cage, grind our gears, and generally annoy us. I'll go first.
Please.
Because we all three, sans Anna, have something that really got us in a mood this morning. For me, it was on my drive-in. I was going down Preston, and a major thoroughfare, if you're not familiar with DFW, and a car pulled out in front of me.
From a side street?
From a side street.
Yeah.
Pulled out, saw me coming, just didn't care.
Right.
Lack of concern, lack of respect. Pulled out. I was maybe 20, 30 feet away. I had to change lanes, so I let this person know with a friendly toot of the horn, friendly little honk.
How long did you hold down that?
It was a second. Either way, it was a friendly reminder of, hey,
Sure.
if I wasn't paying attention, if my head was in the clouds, had I been on my phone text messaging, I could have easily T-boned you.
Right.
Ruined both of our days.
Had it not been for your defensive driving, your vigilance, at the wheel, to
so
always be alert.
I was able to change lanes and give her a reminder that be present when you're behind the wheel. And for my act of kindness, I received a finger.
Oh, you mean the Texas indicator?
Yeah,
That's right.
That's what I was.
Not the thumbs up, Anna. A different finger.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it wasn't even like a shy one. She was like, no.
Was it out the window or was
It
it up
wasn't.
at the...
It was right up against the window.
Oh wow.
Perfectly manicured nails, right against the window.
Oh, so you were
right-
beside her at this point.
I was passing her.
were
May or
giving
may
her the
not.
look.
May or may not.
Was
still
she
have the
pulling
horn
out of the
still playing.
salon? Okay, so how fast were you going? Obviously, she's going very slow, right?
Obviously, the speed limit, sir.
Well, I mean, were you on like a side road or you?
Preston is like what, 55? Hopefully,
I don't think it's 55.
45, 45,
40 or
30?
45 probably.
Okay, so
Okay,
I
but
was going that.
You weren't coming out of a parking lot. You were moving and shaking.
I was moving and shaking. Yeah,
All right.
Heading down, trying to get to work, and she again. I am the so. When you're pulling out of a spot, if you see 3 lanes of traffic like Preston is, and you see a car who's clearly leading the pack, going the maximum allowed speed, then you pull out. When you pull out in front of that person, that's kind of a jerk move.
Yeah.
You're pulling out in front of the lead pack.
It's a tough feeling, right? Because I've definitely been that person sitting in my parking lot or whatever, trying to get out on the road, and I look over and nobody's coming except one person in the far right lane, and it's like, do I have to wait for them? Like, if they were in the middle, I'd be fine. I'd have plenty of room to pull out, and everything would be okay. Typically, I think the best move is just to wait, right? Drive defensive.
Yeah,
there's
probably.
nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
She
It
was-
takes 8 seconds. Check another text on your phone. It'll
She
be
was
fine.
at a light, so
Don't text and drive.
she could have waited for the light to turn green and actually be her chance to go. But no. Couldn't wait.
Couldn't
and then,
wait.
Here's the topper for me. She followed me.
Oh, really?
I did
Now
not
hold
give her
on. How do
any
you know? How do you know she was following
Because she was
you?
behind me for like 3 or 4 turns.
Well,
I turned from Spring Valley to Montford from Preston, and she followed me every turn. What are the odds that someone from Preston would follow me all the way down?
When did you lose her? When did you break pursuit?
yeah.
Finally, at Montford, I went, okay. And I continued to go 40 miles an hour.
40, right.
Because my fear was that maybe she had called the cops that I was driving aggressively.
Sure.
And I may or may not be riding dirty at the current time. So I have some tags that are out by a
This is
little bit.
revealing a lot.
Yeah. So, you know what? I could really lose and get a ticket here and be in trouble. My insurance is paid out, but just my inspection's not the greatest.
Sure.
No, I got you.
Well, who hasn't been in that position before?
So that's what ground. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Grinded my gears.
Sure.
And then go ahead for you, Zach.
Well,
You were-
mine isn't traffic related, and I feel like maybe this is a bad spot for it, but I'll get through it real quick. Yeah, this morning during our morning meeting, we were catching up, figuring out how the lunch break was going to go today and kind of planning out our day. And I noticed a couple emails from over the weekend from our friendly neighborhood food delivery service, DoorDash. I'm a DoorDash user.
Scam.
Tried Grub.
DoorDash is way too expensive.
That's not
Such a scam.
You know,
She's
honestly, considering the position I'm in right now, you might be right. I tried Grubhub. I like DoorDash. I'd use Postmates if I could. It's fine. There's a bunch of services out there. Use whatever works for you. But DoorDash was the one that affected me this weekend. I had a couple orders go through in Brooklyn. I found out on Sunday morning.
Did you take a weekend
Where
trip?
you obviously
I didn't.
went.
I didn't know. And the guy, the representative from DoorDash I talked to didn't know that either. I know. There it is. I really just need to leave this,
Yeah, please.
honestly, for sound effects' sake. I'll leave that up. So I got a couple emails from DoorDash. Somebody in Brooklyn was DoorDashing food on my account.
Sure.
With my money. Specifically Christine's money, which somehow makes this an easier pill to swallow because it's not like, it's fine.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody in Brooklyn, and it was a lot of food. Somebody ordered
Doesn't matter.
Her money, so that's fine.
Somebody ordered like $100 worth of bagels and something from a place called the Soul Spot, which I'm sure is delicious, to their place at 451 Columbus Avenue.
Which is stupid because
I think
it's
it's
so easy to track.
I think it's important I say their address for no reason. But yeah, and
Did
they
you
didn't
Google map it?
they didn't like bother linking an account or anything. Of course, I didn't. I should have. They just used the accounts that were on the card, of course, or the cards that were on the account. Which the first one on there was Christine's. So bummer.
So they busted into. They somehow hacked into your.
Yeah, I guess
your
I don't know if they
account
just
and then
guessed
used whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if they
Yeah.
guessed the password or what. It wasn't a matter of like using Christine's account. They don't really have that. They just got into mine and ordered a couple things and realized it worked. And then Sunday night, ordered food again.
So, how does it feel to be a victim?
It's tough. Times get hard. Yeah, I get a long work week. I make it to Sunday. Even God rested on Sunday, and here I am, a joke. Just ordering DoorDash for people in Brooklyn. Yeah, so I get on the phone with DoorDash, which, by the way, customer service on a Monday morning, like 20-minute wait.
Yeah.
It hurts, but whatever.
Sure.
A lot of people ordering food Monday morning from DoorDash. They told me, yeah, we'll send you an email in the next couple days and let you know what the next steps are. It's like, what?
The next steps are cancel this.
Yeah, 24 to 48 hours.
Refund this
I gotta
money.
wait. I was like, can I get a phone call? They said, no, we'll run this up the ladder to our representatives, and you'll get an email back. And I said, this is like $100 worth of food. Like, yeah.
Was it a credit card or a debit card?
Credit card. We have to.
So you could do a chargeback, right?
See, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I told Christine about this whole thing, of course, and she's bummed, but she was curious if she should cancel her stuff or just let it ride. I'm like, I asked him on the phone. I said, are you going to suspend the cards on the account? Naturally, you should make sure this account can't purchase anything for the next 48 hours or whatever, because this person did this once and then did it again. Make sure it's on the up and up. The guy was like, good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I assume he was being
wow.
sarcastic. He had to have been messing with me, right? I mean, that's... so, yeah.
Can you just shut down that? Samantha on Facebook says, cancel that account. Can you shut down the account or just remove the cards from it?
I should try. Supposedly, he said they're going to do it. He's like, yeah, we'll suspend the cards on the account so you can't order anything from it. I said, that would be wise. I'd appreciate it. So, follow up on Wednesday, I guess, whether or not I hear anything.
Sorry it happened to you and Christine, but what an ingenious way, because really, no one's coming after you for a
Nobody
DoorDash.
will come after them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's $100 of food. Yeah.
No one's hunting you down, and you got a free meal.
And it kills me because they ordered it's again $100 two deals. It was multiple entrees.
Yeah.
It was like 2 pancake platters, 6 bagels, 4 coffees, and a Snapple. And that was in one order. I was like, man, somebody really knew what was up. Like, I got into this DoorDash account. I'm just going to order a bunch of food. So yeah, they probably won't even do it again. The way I see it, they got away with murder and then let it slide, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, who's gonna? You're absolutely right. Who's gonna follow up on that?
No one.
Nobody.
If the DoorDash people are like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, that's about the extent.
Well,
now your
because-
credit card, if it's a credit, is it a debit card or a credit card?
I don't know.
Ooh.
I said credit card first. Now I don't know.
Because if it's a credit card, you're fine. You call your credit card company, they give you the cash back.
Yeah.
If it's a debit card, you're screwed.
It's probably a debit
Oh,
card.
really? I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
My life is a catch-22. Whichever is the worst option, that's what happens.
That's the one.
happens.
And then this morning, for old
Yes.
Matt over here, this morning, we get a text that just says Express Lane. And it's
In
bumper
quotes,
to bumper.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's bumper to bumper. So you had a rough drive in?
I did, yeah. So normally I'm coming from East Dallas, so I pick up 635 and come across here to the Dallas North Tollway across 635. And usually I can pick up the Techspress lanes at around 75, and it's one exit to Montfort. So it, I think, shaves off about 10 minutes of time usually because 635 gets kind of backed up around there. So it's always usually a good bet. Now, the problem is there's this giant concrete divider, as there should be, but traffic didn't start to pick up, or traffic didn't start to slow down on the express lane until I was past that concrete barrier. And then it was a standstill for 20 minutes. as I sat there and just waited to get past this, whatever was in front of me. It was completely shut down, bumper to bumper. I finally get up. It was right there at my exit. Now, I have this sort of irrational hatred towards anyone who gets into a fender bender on the highway.
Yeah.
Because I feel like accidents like that are totally avoidable. It's one thing if your tire blows out and your car flips over or something like that, or a 18-wheeler jack, and we've all been there, right? We've been in gridlock and we think, God, there better be an 18-wheeler jackknifed here, or a fuel spill, or just something terrible. We don't hope for the worst, but there got to be something commensurate to what we're experiencing here.
Yeah,
sure.
But I get there and it's literally two cars had, like, one had clearly just rear-ended the other.
Yeah.
And there was a tow truck there, and it just happened to happen on the express lane, so it shuts down the entire thing. And so, yeah, I have this hatred for people who get into these little fender benders when somebody was texting, somebody was not paying attention at all, and they inconvenience the lives of thousands of people that are behind them because they're too stupid to just pay attention to the road as they're driving.
Here's what gets me is when that happens, because I'm not that, like, I see that happening. You get in a fender bender, it happens. Bumper to bumper traffic, you're looking down, checking something, whatever. Pull over to the side of the road.
Yeah.
What really upsets me is when the police have to show up to do a report, and they close off 3 lanes of traffic because they're like, well, for our protection, a fire truck blocks like 3 lanes over, so you're forced to go to 1 lane.
Yeah.
Like, no. Turn, like, have your car behind the bumper to bumper, block 1 lane, fine. But when you block the whole 635 because of one fender bender, that I am on board with. That totally infuriates
Again,
me.
if it's a bad wreck, I understand. It's going to take some time to clean up and do what you need to do. But if it's really just somebody got sideswiped or somebody did a rear end, like, come on. Get with it. It's such an easy way for one person to complicate the lives of thousands of people and just ruin their entire morning.
And the expressway, that's the one that's under 635,
Yes.
right? That's the one you have to pay to be on.
Right, yeah.
So
and let's talk about that because because the toll it varies, right? The price varies depending on, usually in the mornings and afternoons, it's going to be a little bit higher. Typically, the price is somewhere around $1, maybe a little bit per exit. It was up to $3.30. Traffic on 635 is moving just fine. Traffic on the express lane, bumper to bumper, but they're still charging you $3 to go down this lane that's not moving anywhere. I think it should be free at that point.
Yeah, so
you're not giving me anything.
You paid like $6 or $3.
It would be $3. Yeah,
$3.50 to sit in traffic for $25.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations.
I'm convinced, and there will never be anything to truly convince me otherwise. As long as there are conspiracy theories in the world, this holds water for me. That the person who decides the fares on the tollways in DFW is just the most bitter, irrational individual on the face of the planet who sits in a back corner cubicle, just miserable every day, and just sits there and thinks how they can just nickel and dime people a little bit more, slowly over time, to make that toll just a little higher every day till eventually it's like $10 a day and we're all cool with it. Because it always seems to be more expensive, and it's always at the worst times. Like one day, it started snowing. That was a thing not too long ago, I think last winter. And everybody takes off from work. Everybody's like, you know what? People get nuts on the roads around here. We don't want to deal with the ice. We don't want any employees to get injured. Everybody get out of here. Like, Lincoln Center starts clearing out. All the buildings in DFW. Time to head out, all right? Unless you're real hardcore and want to stick around and work, I guess. But so traffic gets nasty on the roads, and 635 starts to build up. The tollway was like $5.10 or something. It's like, really?
Yeah.
When it's starting to ice over, when people are desperate, that's when you're going to rail us? Like, come on now.
The tollway doesn't have flex, does it?
I think it was the express.
Yeah, certainly.
Let me
it
be
does.
clear.
Express,
I apologize. It's all.
I was like, whoa. We got, before we take a quick break, I want to ask Matt a question about where Waze took him this weekend.
Yeah, we got an insider here on Facebook.
Let me rant about Waze a little bit more.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going yesterday to the Dallas Farmers Market, right?
Yeah,
and it's a Sunday. It's midday on a Sunday. It's a beautiful day.
Sure.
So I'm thinking I'll use Waze because it'll find me. I know how to get to the Dallas Farmers Market, but if I take 75, it's going to be crowded. If I take I-30, it's going to be crowded. If I go to the surface streets, I don't know necessarily which one's going to be the fastest. So I'm like, all right, I'll take Waze, and we'll get there, and we'll find the quickest route. And and sure enough, it was winding me through different neighborhoods, but eventually it put me onto I-30 and then to the Cesar Chavez exit off of I-30.
Yeah.
So after that exit, it said take the U-turn and go up. It's kind of like the back way into the farmer's market.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'll try this. I've never ever seen this exit off of Cesar Chavez. I guess I've never really taken this way, so I've never seen this area. But sure enough, I get up there and there's a little right exit off the street.
Yep.
That loops down around underneath the road and back up around behind the farmer's market. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Nothing wrong there. It looked a little sketch. It's totally fine.
Well, you're thinking you got the secret entrance or something.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I assume it's going to send me down a road, a usable road.
Yeah.
No, what happens? I take the exit. I get around underneath the overpass, and I run into several piles of bricks that are just stacked up on pallets, and I'm like, okay, what is this? Like somebody left their bricks here. Sure enough, I get around, and the road is gone. Like, I get around the side, and there's just nothing there. It's dirt. So, like, a crew had come through and torn it up. So I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know what to do. I have to back around up this exit and get back onto Cesar Chavez, which, of course, I sideswipe a brick.
Yeah.
Puts a scratch in my car. There was a helpful jogger that's helping me back out because it's a tight turn.
Oh, wow.
And I back out, and I mean, my complaints are twofold. One, come on, Waze, get with it. But two, city, if you're going to be doing work, block off the freaking exit because there was nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There was no way out of that. There was no take this exit and take this turn. It was like, if you're on this, you're committed, and you're committed to ending up into a dirt hole.
Right.
So I just block that off. There's no reason to go there. It was ridiculous.
There you go.
Oh, wow. How I assume Megan was with you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's somebody who is so near and dear to you, how well do you temper your reaction in a situation like that? I say the most irrational things. I don't care who's in the car with me.
I was so mad.
I regret it later, of course.
Yeah.
But it's always moments like that where like, I don't know, a dark part of me.
Oh yeah, the rest of the day was ruined. I was so mad.
Wow.
I was mad at myself. I was mad at Waze.
course.
I was mad at the city of Dallas.
Yep.
If the city of Dallas is watching, block off that stupid exit.
Cesar Chavez, that was it?
Yeah, Cesar Chavez. Block off that dumb exit.
Yeah.
Put a freaking barrel up there to let people know, hey, you're about to drive into a pile of bricks, idiot.
This is a good time to write your city councilman. Let him know, hey, I was on this road. Safety hazard.
Yeah.
I'll take a quick break. When we come back, we have Sarah Strackhouse in to give you the lowdown on the news. That's we come back on the lunch break. And we are back. We have an important segment right here. We call it the news segment with Sarah Strackhouse. All things important. I'm sorry. I'm trying to come up with a good teaser for that. I haven't quite figured it out yet. Here you go.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, this is a little off the cuff moment. We'll get there. Go ahead, Sarah, with the news.
All right. Well, that sounded great to me.
Oh, wait.
but-
Your mic's down.
Oh,
There
hello.
she is.
Here I am.
There we
Well,
are.
that sounded great to me. But top in headlines, we're looking at the volcano in Hawaii. It has destroyed 26 homes and 5 other structures. That's according to CBS. Hawaii County officials say that 10 fissures have opened since Thursday, and lava has been spewing more than 200 feet into the air. There's that photo there. They say that there's no sign of it slowing down anytime soon, but unfortunately, more than 1,700 people have been evacuated. Some residents, though, have been able to come back and try to get belongings little by little as authorities are monitoring those safe spots. So luckily, no reported injuries or deaths thus far, so I guess we can be a little happy about that.
Well, and then to make matters worse, they just had an earthquake there too. So
It
like
never
it's
ends.
Yeah, like earthquakes and volcanoes. It's the coming of days in Hawaii.
Trouble in paradise.
Well, at least this one, everyone's all right so far. Well, fuel prices have hit a 3-year high. The spike comes with the increase in crude oil prices. In January, the crude oil price actually hit a 30-month high, and prices are expected to stay in the 60s through the year, which forecasters say is good for the economy. But obviously, those of us at the pump are seeing the average price a little higher. Per gallon through this fall, it's expected to be about $2.74. Last year, it was $2.41, to give you kind of a ballpark of what that looked like. All of the while this is happening, CNBC reports that automakers are pulling back on making sedans as demand for bigger vehicles go up. So gas tanks are going up too.
Oh, wow.
They're getting bigger.
All right.
Well, that's because the gas prices.
Guzzling more.
That's probably gas prices went down. So people were like, "Hey, you know what? I'll have my Suburban back now. I want the Tahoe, the bigger cars."
Sure.
And then now the gas prices go back up. Then now I want my Prius. You just need to buy two
vicious
cars.
cycle.
Yeah, buy your Tahoe and buy your Prius, and then it's depending on the gas, that's the car you drive that week.
All right. That
There
sounds
we go.
reasonable.
All
Yeah,
right, I'll hop on the
reasonable.
Sure.
Does it?
Yeah.
All right, well, here's talking money still. An Austin woman hit it big this weekend betting on the Kentucky Derby. So after betting only $18, she won $1.2 million. Can you imagine? $18.
Kentucky Derby.
Yes. In fact, ABC News reports that she wasn't actually there. She was at a racetrack near San Antonio when she placed the bet. She made a pick 5 wager. Now, I'm not a good betting person, so she picked Justify to win the Kentucky Derby, and then she picked the winners of all 4 races leading up to the event. I guess that's what it is. When you do a pick 5 wager, you have to consecutively win, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Of course it is. Okay. Yeah, sure.
I got a relative, an older guy, and he lives in Houston, and I guess one of those things. I guess you can bet on it from anywhere, right?
Yeah,
That's the deal.
Yeah.
He got on Facebook and he posted just this line of absolute gibberish, and I thought, that's it. He finally snapped. Whatever that is, like I have no idea. Like, it was the oddest thing. And then somebody in the comments was like, "Oh, that's what I bet on." I was like, "Wow, I know nothing about betting on horses."
So I've bet on horses like 5 times in my entire life.
Sure.
All of them have been like, I'll go to a horse race and drink alcohol and watch horses run around. It makes the race more interesting.
Yeah.
But if you're a serious horse gambler, that's how you know you have a problem. Because those guys, it's like they all have like a strategy to win, and they go out and you can like look at the horses before they run. And you have these guys who have no business looking at horses, going out there and like talking to the trainer, like looking at the leg, go, "Oh yeah, totally."
Yep.
See those hind leg hustles? That's gonna be great out of the gate. Or that temperament, and just making up complete nonsense.
Of course.
Yeah. And then they walk out. It's obnoxious. If you're a true horse gambler, seek help, because that is
You're not just there for the booze and fun.
No, I was there to have a mint julep, see all the big hats, and you know, throw a couple dollars their way. If you're there betting like big bucks, and knowing that your system is going to win this time around, it's because you're renting your rent check, and then that's a huge problem.
But Josh, this time it's a sure thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry.
This
Sorry,
time
Sarah.
the kid will go to college.
This
It'll be
horse's
great.
hind legs are that great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Loves the slop.
Yeah. Well, we're getting out of the racetrack and heading over to the ice. So an NHL player had to be asked to stop licking people.
I felt
Makes
like I
sense.
saw
As
something
we all
about
are
this.
at some point in our lives,
I feel like
right?
I saw a picture. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
What is this about?
So the NPR reports apparently NHL player Brad Marchand.
Look at this guy.
What is this clown?
Of course, this guy was looking at somebody.
Even a hat and sunglasses can't
Yeah,
keep those in.
and some
Wow.
nice beads. I don't know what's on there. But he plays for the Boston Bruins. Apparently, he's licked players on opposing teams twice this postseason. So he's known as one of the biggest quote-unquote pests in the league. If you're
Yeah.
a big NHL fan, I'm sure you know him. Officials actually had to tell him to find a different way to annoy other players.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Just do it differently.
Just do it differently.
Right.
Well, oh my God.
Who did that? That was not a sound effect off a board. Like one of
Was
you
that
made
a
that
board?
sound.
Yeah, the board off.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, apparently he did get something in return for the second time he licked a player. Apparently, Lightning forward Ryan Callahan didn't like the lick, so he punched him in the face 4 times.
Well, that's standard.
I think that's
I mean,
fair.
Yeah.
Are you surprised?
Yeah.
Yeah, not sorry for him.
Yeah.
Is there a more obnoxious way to like bother someone?
No. I don't.
It's he's got to be that weird guy
It's
in the
rude.
locker room, right? Like the rookie joins the team that year, and it's like, who's that guy over there? Like, oh, that's Brad, dude. Don't
Yeah,
don't talk to him.
Yeah.
Don't go
Let it
near
be.
him.
Don't
Just
bother
don't.
him. Yeah,
Stay
just let him
away.
do his thing.
He eats lunch by himself every day.
Great point guard, weird dude.
Yeah.
He's just not
Well,
worth
yeah,
it.
apparently he's pretty good. I guess that game he had like a goal and an assist or something like
Really?
that. So he's relatively decent, I think.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
He's still a clown. Sarah, I appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
Thanks
That
for
is the
having me,
news.
guys.
Coming back, we have a note in the UK to a neighbor that got them quite upset. That's more when we come back on the Lunch Break Show. And we are back on the Lunch Break Show. I am Josh. This is Zach, Matt, and Anna. Thank you guys for joining us today. Sorry, there's some little bit of lagging going on that. We're working on that. Hopefully that improves. Before we get into this segment, I have another story over the weekend that I wanted to share with you guys because it didn't trouble me or bother me. It surprised me.
Okay.
It surprised me.
Sure.
So I went. We had our 1-year-old had his first birthday.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah. Success. We were at the park for Asian Fest. We just kind of like clogged onto them. No, lobbed on, whatever it is. We
Glommed on.
Grouped
Yeah.
in. Yeah, thank you.
Crashed the party.
Yeah, with them, had a table, certain stuff. We brought drinks for kids and adults. The adults got water, and the kids, we brought juice boxes.
Capri Sun.
Capri Sun. Top of the line.
Awesomely
juice.
apple.
Yeah.
It's good
Top
stuff.
of the line juice. All natural flavoring. No one let their kid have a Capri Sun.
What?
I mean, we didn't let ours have one either because he's 1. But all the other kids were like, 3, 4, 5-ish ballpark range.
They say why?
Yeah. Do you mind if I take a gander here?
Please,
yeah, please.
Because of the doctors say don't drink juice for kids. So none of the
Really?
Yeah. So at home I have 35 like Capri Suns just in the fridge. Like I'm a 13. Like I'm a 8-year-old kid.
When are you allowed to drink juice? At what age are you allowed to drink juice?
I don't know. For me, growing up in East Texas, 1 you could have juice
Out of the womb.
Yeah, womb juice.
All right. So let's break this down. Why would a doctor say that? Right? What reason?
Well, sugar.
Sugar, sure. Yeah, I would agree. Anybody else? That seems like the primary reason for that. Here's my thing. In the age of soda, in the age of Coca-Cola and PepsiCo, really, are we going to grandstand on juice? That's where we go wrong. Now, I know juice has a lot of extra sugar added. That can be a thing. Like, you can go overboard with the juice. It's kind of like Minute Maid lemonade that's only like 2% actual lemons, and the rest is just sugar and flavoring and concentrate, whatever. But Capri Sun, is this really where we draw the line, our line in the sand societally, that this is where we say we can't do it anymore, we won't take it? Juice? That's what we can't do for our kids?
Well,
they're getting sugar from soda and carbs.
But that's the deal. Is that
chocolate.
They're not eating chocolate or carbs. Like most of the kids that went, sans 2 or 3, because we served donuts. Like,
Okay.
that was like the food we had.
Right.
And so they were able to eat donuts.
Those are okay.
Yeah. But donuts are fine, but not juice.
Right.
I get it. Every parent is different. That's an easy thing to say no to. You're not having juice. Period.
Yeah.
They have water. They have things like that, but no to the juice.
I mean, from all things, I would not expect that, like, juice to be a big no-no. I mean, I would say quicker no to donuts or something like that.
It's like selective hearing. Your doctor's like, well, you might want to lay off like the sugary drinks like soda, juice, and they're like, well, a donut's fine then, but they said juice, and I can't do that. Like, really?
I bet you here's what it is.
Yeah.
Because most of my friends are really, like, as all parents should be, very attentive to their kids' overall health. I think it's some parents, it's easy to go, well, it's apple juice. It could be in every meal thing, because apples are good for you. Therefore, apple juice is good for you.
Right.
And that's not the case. Like, this should be a Coke
Every now
style,
and then.
every now and then thing.
Yeah.
And so I bet it's just easier for pediatricians, instead of having to explain to them that your kid, this doesn't replace having like apples, just for the record.
Right.
Everyone knows your kid shouldn't have like a box of donuts. Like that's not like a rocket science thing. One donut isn't going to kill you, and one apple juice isn't going to kill you.
Yeah.
But it's that sense of like, hey, don't replace apples with the Capri Sun awesomely apple.
What surprises me, how many parents didn't go for it. Because there had to have been more than like a couple parents there. I mean, it seems like a lot were not doing it. And what does that fall back on you? Like you didn't somehow bring something for their kids? You did.
No,
you came correct.
They had water, so we had water,
Yeah.
and we had that, and all the kids were just drinking water. Everyone there just drank water.
Really?
Like, not even the adults. If I had the chance to have a Capri Sun at a party, I'm getting down on that.
Yeah.
Because I even had the berry. So now, silver lining for the next 36 days here at work, this gets put in my lunchbox.
Yeah. Well, Rachel said you actually had 100% Capri Suns.
Yeah,
Really?
100% juice.
As good as it gets.
We tried to find the healthiest option, but
And that still wasn't enough.
still wasn't enough. But
Really?
again, I get it. You got to do what's best for your kid.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
When you go for the straw on the Capri Sun, do you go through the predetermined hole, or do you just do the easy way and go through the bottom?
The what?
What?
You've never heard that?
Hold on.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Totally.
What?
Just flip it over.
Wait, why? I'm not. No, this is a joke.
No, it's not a joke.
It's one of
not
those
a joke.
gags. I'm gonna get juice all over me.
No, it's not a joke.
If
Let's
you were
do
pulling
this
one
live,
over on him
please.
Okay,
right
we're doing this
now,
live.
Well, hold on. We all know that it's a pain to get through that little hole,
it
right?
is. It is.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
many
So the
things.
easy thing you do is you just flip it over and
Okay.
Wait,
Make
hold it
sure
over your
we can
computer
see
when you
it
do
in the
this.
It goes
camera.
right through.
Can we
Camera.
see this?
So here we go. Capri Sun upside down.
I mean, I don't know
First
what
time
these
for me.
new ones.
Just hold it over your laptop. There you go.
Yeah. I can't. It's not going through.
in there.
No.
Uh-oh.
Maybe on the old ones you could.
Yeah. No. I don't
Okay.
want to. Yeah.
I mean, I would think the bottom is specifically designed to be the most
Yeah.
secure
Stronger,
of the
yeah.
package,
It's not.
right?
You could
it goes
totally
right through.
Right. That little paper thin perforations was all about.
So with the old style where it was like silver on the bottom, you could totally go right. You could go right through the bottom, and it was so much easier than dealing with
Really?
like trying to get through that stupid little hole.
yeah, but then
Sorry.
how do you set it down?
You don't. You just drink the thing.
You just drink it.
Wait,
Yeah.
who sets down Capri
Whoa,
Sun?
excuse me for using a Capri Sun the way it was packaged.
Do you drink with the pinky out?
I
when
do
you're done?
actually. Yeah, the same way I drink my.
I'm sorry. We
cold
got
coffee.
off topic. I apologize. I just wanted to bring that up and have a quick little chat. What we were going to talk about is something that happened in a neighborhood. And what made me stand out to this is because there's no way that my neighbor watches the show, so I'm pretty sure I'm fine. But he is a vile person.
Okay.
And I use that word specifically. Yeah,
that's harsh.
it's harsh. It's harsh. So yesterday we pull in. Our dogs are inside dogs. Should I tell my story first or this story first?
I almost want to hear more about the vile neighbor and set that up.
Yeah.
But no, go ahead.
So this story is a guy who passed a nasty note to his neighbor saying, "I have seen you too many times undressed." And which would be weird, but these couples, like, we don't ever, like, when our windows are always, like, closed. We just live our life. We're not nudists. We're not outside sunbathing.
Yeah.
So the only way he's doing that is if he's, like, peeping into our windows at night.
Yeah.
Basically, the guy's kind of outed himself as being a creep. And now there's, like, a email, like, and he wrote a letter and, like, mailed it to him. He lives next door, wrote a letter, mailed it to him.
what a creep.
So, yeah, what a creep. Just a full-on creep. And I saw this, and I thought of my vile neighbor.
Right.
Not that he's given us a letter
Yeah.
like that. He would be so lucky to see this.
Sure.
He's a guy who works out of his garage. And my wife's going to be mad that I'm giving so much detail about this because she's convinced everyone can find this and he will hear the story. But works
Let
out of
him.
his garage.
Let him, right?
Yeah. He wears the shortest, like, cloth shorts imaginable, no shirt, and doesn't have the body for it. Some guys can pull this off, not him.
You mean, okay, doesn't have the body. Like, kind of has the body or, like, should not?
At some point in his life, 20 years prior to this, he may have had the body.
Gotcha. So he's got a little bit of a...
Full-on dad bod.
Got it. That's the difference.
I wouldn't say fat.
Yeah.
I would just say dad bod.
Because I'll see guys out jogging or something with their shirt off, which is another topic. And they may not have, like, a six-pack. They may not look like Hugh Jackman, but they look okay. You're like, it's passable. That's
He
what I
doesn't
mean.
look okay.
This is not passable.
No, not
All right,
passable.
okay, this is a problem.
But he works out, and he has his, like, again, and he must have just one pair of these, like, you know, the coach's shorts from, like, the 1970s?
Yeah, yeah.
But not skin tight, breathable,
Sure.
and, like, at his waist. So there's,
Right.
like, 4 inches of fabric that just covers the necessities. And he walks around with that. Disgusting. But I let it slide.
Garage door open, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
This is America. So, by God, I'm going to let that go.
He's living his best life.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, where I do draw the line, the other day I'm coming home from a nice outing with my son and my wife. He had fallen asleep in the car. So we left the garage door open, left the doors open, and my son was catching up on the last 10 minutes of his nap while we unpacked the car and just kind of talked out by the garage.
Yeah.
Obviously keeping our eyes on our child, never leaving him alone for a second. I want to remind everyone of that.
Of course.
My wife goes inside to let our dogs out to go to the bathroom. Again, they're inside dogs.
Sure.
All 3 of them live 99.9% of their lives inside. Only go outside to number 1, number 2, and then back inside.
Simple. Yeah, sure.
They come outside for a moment to potty, and my Pomeranian, because she's a Pomeranian, barks. As all Pomeranians do from the dawn of time until today.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's outside in his shorts, as always. Like, he has 1 pair of shorts ever. Anyway, walks outside and yells, "Shut up!" to the dogs. Like, within seconds. Not after, like, 5-10 minutes. Within seconds. An automatic opens the garage door. And, by the way, it's broken, so he has a little stick that holds it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, ghetto. Anyway, and then he yells, "Shut up!" at my dogs.
Yeah.
Which, okay, stop. Bothered me. Apparently, I did not hear this, where he said that he was tired of these dogs. I did not hear that part. My wife heard that part. So I would have gotten way more mad about that. But just the one, like, he didn't see me, and then I walk out of the garage and stand there, and we're like 20 feet apart, and he kind of realizes that he...
Stare down.
Yeah.
You were right there.
Yeah, he realizes I heard him yell, "Shut up," to my dogs, and then he, like, kind of, like, doesn't want to, like, lose his edge, but I'm there. The next thing you say, it'll be a confrontation. And so he, like, puts his trash in his trash can,
Right.
and then walks back inside, kind of grumbling, still, like, aggressively does it. But just the worst human being imaginable. I've been nothing but nice and polite to him.
This
Morning.
wasn't in the middle of the night, right?
This was at 4 in the afternoon.
Okay, so this wasn't like, I mean, I could understand if the dog's barking at midnight.
Sure, yeah. I would be mad the dogs are barking at midnight. But no, it is 4 in the afternoon on a Sunday. You got nothing going on, clearly, because you're in your no-shirt cloth shorts. So there's no big gala you're heading to. You're just taking out the trash.
Yeah.
And you can't be bothered enough for the 30 seconds it takes for my Pomeranian to pee to hear her bark 10 times. Scumbag.
There's a couple things here, and real quick, I want to make sure that because there are two sides to every story.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine we'll get this man on. I don't think we would want his caliber of individual in the studio. But how loud are the dogs? Are they quiet? They loud?
They're dogs.
Because it sounds like this is something he's experienced before.
They don't bark more or less than any other Like,
they're reasonable.
my 2 big dogs only bark when, one, they hear someone close by.
Right.
And they're like, hey, there's someone over here. This isn't normal. If there is this one rabbit who, if I catch him, I'll get him. Because he, like, taunts him. He realizes...
Just hangs out outside.
Oh, yeah.
Outside the
and, like,
window.
he'll have his little, like, furry ears.
Sure.
And he'll, like, be at the fence and be like, hey, guys,
Yeah,
I know you can see me, but you can't get me.
Yeah.
And, like, that's, like, his thing right now for this rabbit.
Yeah.
And so they'll bark about that. But outside of those 2 things,
Right.
they're pretty chill.
I'm inclined to believe you because you have a newborn. And that would be a problem if you had dogs that barked all the time.
Yeah.
So the way I see it, that kind of holds water. Yeah, what's this guy's deal?
He's just like, again,
Just
there's
a guy.
people that you know who are just miserable people.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Just miserable.
Yeah.
He's one of those. And to top it off, so I have dogs that bark. He has a power tool, like he works out of his garage making God knows what.
Yeah, what does he do?
Carpenter or something.
Okay.
I don't know what he does. I'm sure it's for awful, hateful things. But like he'll be like drilling and using the little like whatever that drill press button is and the saws and all again during the day, which drive my dogs crazy because it sounds they don't know what they are.
Yeah.
And they'll bark at that sometimes. But again, like you have a drill press in your garage and you're mad at me for having a Pomeranian who barks 10 times?
Yeah, I see what you're getting
No,
at here.
sir.
You're the kind of individual who opens up their garage to the world and puts on almost nothing and presents yourself as to anybody driving by, including people of the homeowners association, neighbors, realtors. You're driving down values, and you're saying, this is who I am. I'm living my best life. I'm doing power tools. I'm being loud and being obnoxious, and visually I'm a wreck.
Yep.
But your dog barks once, and it's too much for me. I can't handle it.
Like, I could even see if you're outside, like, pruning trees, or if you're, like, whatever he has in his yard, like black roses, and you're, like, doing that, and the dog's barking the entire time.
Right.
You're like, it's been 3 hours out here, and this dog's been, I could see it. I wouldn't agree with it. I wouldn't do it, but I could see it. I could logically make that connection that not all people are dog people. But when you open your garage door... put your board to hold it up and walk outside and immediately yell, "Shut up." You have a problem.
Yeah.
You are the only animal right now outside.
Right. There's this common misconception I worry in homeownership that if you're on your patio or porch or garage, you're somehow still entitled to like this sphere of your own space. I think when you're out, even garage open, if you're working on your car and somebody walks by, you're in the public space. You're no longer safely in the confines of your home, and you can't just say whatever you want without consequences.
Sure.
Go inside and yell all you want. You're in your house. Go nuts. Yeah, but when you're outside, when the door's open, you're in society. You've done it. You've jumped that gap, right? You're there. So this guy walking around in short shorts, screaming at dogs, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So, yeah,
that's an
just,
issue.
I saw the story about the neighbor and could care less what the context of what that story
Right.
was. I really wanted to talk
just
about
dunk
my
on the
neighbor.
neighbor for a while.
have you gotten on Nextdoor and
I haven't. So here's the deal: is that normally I would have said something, but something inside of me was like, "This guy is a horrible cretin." And if he was a normal person, I'd have been like, "Hey, dude, come on." He'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there, or whatever." Well, your dogs are loud, and that would have been the end of it.
yeah.
But I get the feeling this guy would like make something. That
He would double
hurt.
down on this.
He would double down. Yeah, he would like hurt my dogs or leave like nails in the driveway.
Oh, God.
I get that, like, he's that guy to me.
Yeah.
And so at the point to where like my wife's actually concerned that he's actually putting stuff over the fence to hurt them.
Oh.
He hasn't.
But it's a concern.
It's a concern, which is why I didn't double down and be like, fight a guy in the alleyway like West Side Story.
Well, God, yeah, you live next to this guy, though. When you go home, you got to park your car next to this joker.
Yeah, and he's not going anywhere. He's like 60 years old.
Oh, he's older.
Oh, wow.
I missed that detail.
He may be late 50s.
Sure.
But again, old enough to know better.
Yeah. Gosh.
So what's the situation here? Was it where you moved there fairly recently, right?
I've been in that house for 8 years.
Oh, okay, so not fairly recently. So do you know anything about the previous people that lived there?
Yeah.
Like, did they warn you?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, of course
I mean,
not.
I guess.
But again, like, I've only had 4 interactions with him.
Okay.
And so one time I did respond back. One time, like 2 years ago, I heard him yell, "Shut up," to my dogs, but he couldn't see me as in the fence. And I went, "No!" Like that. Like pretending that I was one of the dogs. It's a little game I like to play.
And for a moment, he was completely dumbfounded. What?
Yeah. Like, but outside of that, I realized that he's not just like, he's just like, it's one thing to have a bad day, and I'll give you the excuse of maybe you had a bad day, but just every time I see this guy, like I when I first moved in, I would wave, "Hey, how's it going, sir? Good morning, good afternoon." Nothing.
What's the solution here? Matt, you're a homeowner. I live in apartments. I can always move. Anytime I've had a weird neighbor, like they move out at some point, or like it's reasonable. Once you get a home, you're locked down.
Yep.
What do you got?
You just kind of have to deal with it. Like we had guys that lived across the street from us. They did recently move out, but this guy, he was a nice person. Like every interaction we had with him was friendly,
congenial.
But other than the time that he backed into my car, which is a story for another day.
Well,
probably.
at least you knew it was him, so that is the story for another day. Yeah,
I may tell it, but anyway, their bit used to be. I mean, I'll give you the picture of this guy. He looked like Andrew WK. He wore his favorite thing to wear was pajama pants underneath ripped jeans.
So he's an executive, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He looked like nobody. He looked like anybody on the street ever. Yeah.
Yeah. And their favorite thing to do was at 2 a.m. He always had he was one of these people that always had just people over. People were just always at that house for whatever reason. They were in a band, kind of like you could hear them playing in a band. So they were always kind of doing that, and they were just people like squatting, just hanging out.
Just random cars parked outside the house.
Exactly. Just at all times of the day.
Yeah.
There was you never knew who actually lived there.
Was this guy running a small business out of his house? Because that's.
Well, I think he might have been.
That's what I'm thinking.
He might have been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Herbal supplements is what he was doing.
Just a theory.
A small businessman. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they would at 2 a.m. they would get out there and have Fight Club, which is basically they're out there with their shirts off, punching each other.
Oh, great.
For fun.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
And so you just hear and the guys yelling and this stuff going on in the middle of the night. And you're like, what is that? And it's just like a scuffle going on. And they're not mad at each other. They're not out there, hashing out disagreements. Sure. They're out there just, bare knuckle boxing each other. And multiple times we're like, Wolfgang's doing the Fight Club again.
Fight night.
Did I miss his name is Wolfgang?
Wolfgang, absolutely.
That is awesome. This guy, I know, annoying for you.
Yeah, sure.
A hero to me.
Yeah. He's amazing. On Halloween, the first interaction I really had with him was on Halloween. He was, we had our setup in our garage. We always do like a big creepy setup.
You guys do it big, yeah.
Yeah. And they were over there. They had bones hanging from, actual bones, actually. I think it was actually animal bones.
From the people that didn't survive Fight Club?
Yes, yeah.
That's right.
The victims of Fight Club. And he was there with just like a giant handle of McCormick's gin.
Of course.
That's all he had, was just a giant plastic bottle.
Which is, by the way, the worst gin imaginable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we walk over there just to say hello, see if he wants any Halloween candy. He's like, here, you want a swig of gin? Just hands us the bottle. You want a swig of gin? That's the kind of guy Wolfgang was.
Wolfgang.
Oh, I love it.
But he recently moved out. He apparently was in a fight with one of our other neighbors, who was legitimately a neighbor that you talked about. Just you could hear him inside breaking things in his house, and he was yelling at people all the time. So he drove by the house over and over again, just drove by slowly, cursing out Wolfgang over I don't know what. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe a deal went sour or something like that. I'm not sure, but fascinating individual.
Yeah. Wow.
Our neighborhood is really quiet. Like, there's no problems at all. I get along great with my next door neighbors. I get along great with the person across the street. It's a great neighborhood. The only person is the guy behind me, and he's quiet and it doesn't bother anyone, and he's whatever. He's just a horrible person. So,
Yeah.
That's so odd.
yeah, there you go. We had. Do we have anything else that we actually teased that we were going to talk about?
The couch story, but we could save it for another day.
There we go. We're going to hold that for you on Wednesday because the time is out.
It's a real tease.
Somehow we got off on a lot of tangents today and had basically an hour-long gripe fest. I apologize if you hated it.
A little bit of vinegar this
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Monday mood for
right.
sure.
A little bit of
Exercise
vitriol.
our demons.
That's right.
But I am excited for Wednesday's show. I'll tell you why I'm excited for Wednesday's show.
It's a big day. I
Because
can't
we
wait.
have
I
we
can't
have
wait.
some video that we need to go over and process and analyze.
Legendary video.
Legendary video. A friend of mine over at KZPS for iHeartRadio named Jim White.
Not going to name names.
Yeah.
Here's exactly
It was-
where you can find him.
Yeah. No, it's fine. He recorded a video on his phone, and Jim isn't the best at social media, and he'll admit to that himself. He recorded a video of this young man having his first big break as a correspondent on a local news channel.
Sure.
And something occurred. Something occurred during this epic interview that went ghost, and no one was releasing the video. No one was talking about it. I now, through acts of kindness from others, have obtained the video.
Yes.
And I wanted to have one of those break it down moments.
Yeah.
And talk about whether it did or didn't happen, and on the bad angle of what should the appropriate response have been of this young man.
And for those of you out there who like to do your internet sleuthing and your homework, like we looked, we can't find this. This is we're the only people that have
This
this.
is an exclusive.
You managed,
RNC and exclusive.
You managed to get this. I don't know how through your back channels or whatnot. You had a connection. Who had a connection, and you have this video, and we have it. We're gonna check it out.
So on Wednesday's show. Thank you, Jim White, for bringing this to my attention. He has since taken the video down, so don't go to Jim White's Facebook page. Wednesday, right here, we'll do the breakdown, the RNCN exclusive of this interview. Until then, though, we want to say have a great week, and we'll see you on Wednesday.